He's had a great season and a great career. He comes in 21-0, an unbeaten wrestler going against Tim McPhee, another great wrestler from Atwood, a senior coming in at 24-3. McPhee for the Buffaloes against Rechek from Hoxie.
These boys have wrestled twice. Rechek has won both matches. The first time I understand he won by a pin in the first period, and the second time it was like a 7-5 match. So not a giveaway by any stretch of the imagination. Of course, McPhee, we remember last year in the state finals against Lyle Geyer from Leota. Geyer pinned almost everybody, but he didn't pin McPhee, and that's got to be a plus for McPhee. So I don't think we can call this a giveaway.
Right. Rechek, though, very quick this tournament. We might want to mention they're both in red, but Rechek with the red knee pads, McPhee with the black knee pads. So that might help you separate the two wrestlers. Or you can go take a look at the headgear again. Red headgear for Rechek from Hoxie. The only reason I mentioned it might kind of go pretty speedily is because, boy, I tell you, Troy Rechek from Hoxie's only had to be on the mat 2 minutes and 34 seconds this whole tournament as they fall right in front of us. As we look on the monitor, we see one of the coaches for the Atwood Buffaloes, Steve Woody, along with Coach Keith Ross. So Rechek has just had a tremendous tournament. He doesn't waste much time out there.
Well, he's had two falls in less than a minute so far in this tournament. The first match was a 35-second fall, and his semifinal match last night was 28 seconds. So he's got to be considered a threat in that area.
But it looks like McPhee has been pretty aggressive so far in this first period. No score, 45 seconds to go, but he might be taking the same strategy as, I'm looking back, the wrestler from Dighton did against Lampy. Again, be the aggressor and don't let him get into those legs, because he's a pinning wizard. You got to keep away from his strength, I would imagine.
Well, he also knows that he does have a chance in this match because he's had a close match, so there's no sense in him backing off. He's got to go after it and make things happen for himself.
Boy, talk about a rivalry. You think there's one between Hoxie and Atwood?
I'd bet on that. They're in the same league, and they have been for 150 years, I think. And I know when you get matches going between those two schools, you're going to get some noise in the gym.
It just makes each of them all the better. I'll tell you, no time left, 1 second left. Here we go. That's the end of the first period and no score. Troy Rechek, as we said, coming in for the Hoxie Indians, a senior. He was 4th in 1991 at 140, 4th in 1992 at 140 at the state tournament. He's first this year in the Northwest Kansas League, and as Fred mentioned, he beat McPhee. McPhee taking second at that league tournament. He was first at the Colby Regional, again beating McPhee, so these two know each other very, very well. Rechek, the first, or number 1 ranked wrestler coming in. McPhee, the 3rd rated wrestler. McPhee was second at the regional, as we said. He took second last year at 140, as Fred also mentioned. So both these wrestlers are used to being in the championship match.
Rechek just dodged a bullet there. If McPhee had been able to keep his knees up as they went out of bounds, that would have probably been a takedown. Because the rule this year and last year is that as long as your toes are in bounds and you have control going out of the mat, off the mat, but you got the takedown. And he's got Rechek in trouble again. Be very surprised if he doesn't get there. He goes. He's got his takedown.
Well, Coach Steve Woody looking concerned. Again, on the other side, you've got for the Indians, Al Baker and Roger Morris. 2-0. McPhee with that takedown out in front in the second period. Minute 14 left. Well, both two similarly built wrestlers. Sort of tall, sinewy, very strong, quick.
We're probably going to see some strategy start kicking in here pretty soon. Of course, McPhee wants to, having lost to him twice, he wants to maintain that lead at all costs. So he's probably going to, if he feels like he's in trouble, probably going to kick him away instead of giving him a 2-point reversal, give him a 1-point escape.
Boy, I almost hate to see anybody take second place, and you hate to see there be no tomorrow, at least for these two seniors. They choose to wrestle at college. You mentioned the wrestler that McPhee took on to the championship match last year. He's wrestling college somewhere, isn't he?
He's at Southern Colorado University this year and wrestling on their varsity squad, I believe. Of course, like a lot of college freshmen, he's had a few losses, but it's a whole new world up there. McPhee is going after it. He's got trying to get that cradle in there and take Recheck over to try to pin him. Of course, Recheck has been able to break it. Watch out, he's got that arm out. That's one of Hoxie's trademarks. They get that arm out on that cradle, and a lot of times they'll pin you while you're trying to pin them.
34 seconds and counting in the second period, 2-0 right now. McPhee from Atwood out in front and riding on top as he was able to break Recheck down to the mat.
We have a potentially dangerous call there on the arm. Referee thought that it was getting close to a problem situation.
A little bit of blood again, or we're going to check something, so we've got a break in the action on the mat. McPhee from Atwood leading in the second period. 24 seconds left. Quick rundown, Coach. How can a wrestler score?
Okay, of course, we've seen the takedown. That's 2 points. If you're on the bottom and you get away and break free, that's 1 point for an escape. If you're on the bottom and you get on top, that's 2. You have a 2-point near fall and a 3-point near fall based upon how long you hold the man down. You have penalty points for various things. And, of course, most of your penalties, your first penalty is 1, your second penalty is 1, your third penalty is 2, and your fourth penalty is a forfeit. So you can score points all those ways.
This is a unique match for Recheck this tournament. As we said, everything's been a fall for McPhee. Well, we'll tell you how he got here in just a second. No score, and he's dragging him back on the mat. 1 second left. Did he get any points? Nope, no score. Boy, that's rope him and bring him back here, I'll tell you. Nice move by McPhee, but he just ran out of time. 2-0. Tim McPhee of Atwood in front of Troy Recheck of Hoxie, both seniors. 2 minutes left in their career and in their season. McPhee getting here in the semifinals, beat Klein from Oakley, won that one by default. McPhee also got by Stefan of Eudora 10-0 to get into the semifinals.
Well, McPhee's up by 3 points now. He just scored an escape, and Recheck has got to take it to him. He cannot stand and look. He's got to take it to him, and here comes McPhee after him.
Boy, McPhee's just wrestling a great match
on that because the knees were up. The knees were over the out of bounds there, but the toes were down inside, and the knees were not down on the mat. He had control, so that's a takedown.
Wow, McPhee's just wrestling a great match. He has been in control. Seems to be more the aggressor so far.
He definitely has been. He knew what he had to do when he came out here, and he's doing it so far. And Recheck's almost past that point where he's going to still be in the match.
Out of bounds again they go, both wrestlers in red. Recheck, the Hoxie Indian, with the red knee pads and the red headgear. Tim McPhee, 24-3 on the year with the black knee pads and the black headgear. These two wrestlers have met, to our knowledge, twice before. Recheck has won both. He's unbeaten on the year. One of 10 unbeaten wrestlers coming in. One of 6 to make it to the championship finals. Not having much luck against McPhee.
None at all so far. McPhee has been totally dominant in the match.
Well, you know what they say, it's tough to beat a quality opponent 3 times in a season, let alone in the finals.
A lot of times you see that desire coming into work there too. McPhee obviously wants to win this one in the worst way. He was denied last year, and I'm sure he doesn't want to be denied again. And so he's going after it with everything he's got. And Recheck has not been able to counter that so far.
Well, these two have really dominated this year. As we said, they both met in the Northwest Kansas League finals. They met in the regional finals at Colby. And now they're meeting in the championship finale at the 145-pound weight class of the 321A state tournament. A minute left, 5-0. McPhee has taken the lead, led 2-0 after the second period, and he had that takedown going out of bounds, as you saw. We have an opportunity to look at that again. We'll bring it to you. If not, that's okay. It was just a nifty move right before they went out of bounds. And he's in control again. Recheck not having much luck. He has to wrestle defensively right now, and he's trailing 5-0.
Well, he's got that arm tied up behind his back, and I'll tell you, it doesn't do you much good back there. I don't know too many guys can pull a man off the top from that position.
Trying to work his way out. They're on that circle. Well, McPhee doing a good job. Recheck just can't push out from under.
He's in desperation mode now.
20 seconds and counting in this third and final period. Tim McPhee might get that state championship. He's looking for 10 seconds and counting.
I'd say we almost have to say at this point he's probably got it, because he can afford to turn him loose.
Steve Woody said, yep, he sure does. He's agreeing with it. Count down with me. That's the match. My gosh. Well, for the third time in this high school season for these two guys, McPhee, but for the first time in 3 matches, McPhee comes up on top for the Atwood Buffaloes. Boy, good matchup. McPhee in control all the way, ups his record to 25-3. Recheck goes to 21-1. That's his first loss on the season, and just a tremendous match for the wrestler from Atwood.
Tough way to go down, but it happens all the time, and it teaches these kids a little bit about what life is really like.
It's one of the benefits of competing in high school athletics, and that's all about what the Athletic Association is trying to do, again, giving these students the opportunity. Great support. As I said, boy, nothing bigger in the world than getting down a Northwest Kansas League matchup and watching the Hoxie or Atwood or any of those Northwest Kansas League schools go at it. Good try by both wrestlers.
I think he's having trouble believing it.
Yeah, just a tremendous matchup. So the crowd loved it. Let's take a look at the medal stand right now, 140 pounds. I don't think he's. I would say he's very happy.
Yes.
McPhee just soaking it all up. I bet you he's that both emotionally and physically. At 140 pounds, let's take a look. Jeremy Shockley from Eudora took 6th. Ralph Shelton from Phillipsburg finished 5th at 140. Chris Felker of Oakley takes 4th in this tournament. Brock Hutchinson finishes the season from Smith Center with a 3rd place finish. And at 140 pounds in 2nd place, Kevin Beaker from Heston, and from Stockton Tigers, Cliff McDonald is the champion at 140 pounds. He bends over to get his gold medal and a handshake and his bracket. So McDonald ups his record to 31-6 at 140 pounds. He's the state champion, his second for the second for the Stockton Tigers this tournament. Let's take a look at 152.